Okay, welcome. So to kick off, I'll explain what I'm doing here. I'm just making some instructional videos for a student of mine, but since I'm putting the effort into recording anything, I figured I might as well try to make it halfway decent in case I want to post these elsewhere at some point. Um, so first things first, I'll discuss the intent. This is not going to be intended to be a full lesson instructional video. This is just kind of to capture some nuggets of beginning the guitar, some of the things that early on I wish that I had gotten, and my approach to the guitar, which kind of brings us to the first point of what's the benefit of having a teacher. Even though I'm making a video here, I think that we live in a world where you can go on YouTube and you can get 1,001 different instructional videos and different teachers, and there's a lot of value to that. But I don't think you can ever really replace what you get from sitting down one on one with an instructor in a live setting on a regular basis. Because the purpose of sitting down with an instructor is one, that teacher is going to tailor how they teach you to your goals. He or she is going to try to figure out what it is that inspires you about the instrument or what your goals are, and then they're going to try to make this instrument, make your learning path, help you get to those goals quicker and match what your path or journey is on the guitar. The other important piece of why you want an instructor is you choose your instructor. You choose your instructor based off of their approach to the instrument, how they play, if their style, if their mindset toward the instrument is something that inspires you, that matches how you think, is something that you want to emulate. So those two reasons are really why I don't think you can ever fully replace one-on-one instruction. But all that aside, I'll give you a little bit of my background in case this isn't Gavin watching. My name is Alex. Background is I'm the son of two musicians, an accomplished guitarist as a father and vocalist as my mother. Um, Always had instruments in my hand. Primarily, the violin was my instrument growing up. And then I always played the guitar as well, as my father was a guitarist. And when I went to college, I majored in guitar very briefly. I think that's the path of a lot of musicians is they go to school briefly for music, and music education was my major. I thought that I was going to be a jazz player in college, but it turns out the program was classical. And one of the reasons that I was attracted to switching to the guitar as my primary instrument instead of the violin is, to me, the guitar represents a lot of musical freedom. Um, the path to improvise, to choose your own notes, to interpret the music as you play it, to make something that's really unique for yourself. The violin had become something that was extremely structured, especially with the classical path that I was on. Unfortunately, it turns out that the guitar program I was in was classical, and I lost a lot of the joy that I had from what the guitar meant to me. Which brings us to what's my approach to the instrument. I remember as a kid, one of the earliest memories I have to setting my goals on the guitar was just wanting to be able to pick up the instrument and and just play, not think about anything, but just play wherever I was and make music, and for it just to be comfortable to come out. And that's the approach that I'd like to bring to the guitar. Taking elements that I think would have progressed my learning a lot quicker, the way that I have over the decades started to conceptualize the fretboard in a way that makes it a lot more maneuverable for me and for my playing style. And also just to get the student as early on as possible to play music. Um, Suzuki method is how I originally started the violin, and in the Suzuki method, you're playing songs and then applying the theory on top of the songs, which allows the student to always be learning, always have a melody that they're playing. And then as the songs get more difficult, you introduce more complex elements of theory, whether that be different scales, sharps, minors, rhythmic patterns, speed, precision, positions, all those things start getting added, but always you're playing music. That's the focus. So back to my journey. After that brief time at college, I started teaching for the Paul Green School of Rock. Mind you, I had students before, but then I started working at the Paul Green School of Rock when it was still the Paul Green School of Rock. We were the first satellite school to open up, and the focus of that method again was getting the instrument into the students' hands and getting them performing, playing music and playing with ensembles as early as you could in their path. And I still think that that's so important, is just to get an individual playing music, making the instrument come alive, making the music come alive, and not just getting stuck in the rut of practicing theory without the application piece. Because let's be honest. The reason any of us pick up the instrument is because we want to play, we want to make music. So how do we get there as quick as possible? That's really the path that I'd like to capture in just a couple short videos. Some of the key nuggets that I think can help a beginner student, possibly up to intermediate. We'll see how much I feel like talking. Um, and and yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. Um, Another disclaimer that I will throw here is the approach that I have to the instrument now, I think, um, might not be as thorough as some other methods. And what I mean to that is you can start at the bottom and you can progressively build up each logical progression of building block. And it can take you quite a while to get to the point where all of that combines and you're able to, again, start playing or having a fluidity in your approach to the instrument. The other way, let's take the left turn, is punk rock kids in their garage that know 3 chords on the guitar, but they get their buddies together and they start rocking. And the more they rock, the better they get and the more hard and difficult things they try. Now, that method does mean that you got to go back and you've got to relearn things. You've got to add to the things that you've already learned. But the entire time, you're having fun and you're making music. So that's kind of the approach or the mental place that I go to when I think about how to teach the instrument. Let's get you playing. Let's make this make as much sense as possible in an easiest way, and we'll go back. We'll fill in the gaps. We'll add more complex theory to it as we go. But maybe it's a different type of progression. So let's get started.